Friday morning, Trump signed an executive order to get rid of the Department of Education. See what that means for your kids.
And Southwest is cutting jobs across 4 airports. See what this means for summertime travel.
And see how the new Performing Arts Center will impact Muncie. Get the coffee ready, open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal weather. I'm Jackson White.
And I'm Ethan Kelso.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order yesterday evening to begin the process dismantling of the Department of Education. This follows the agency announcing workforce cuts of nearly 50% earlier this month. About 1,300 employees were laid off, hundreds more are taking voluntary buyouts. Shutting down the department entirely would require an act of Congress, but according to Trump, the administration official, the president will direct the Department of Education Secretary Lyndon McMahon to take the steps needed to, quote, return education authorities to the states.
The Department of Government Efficiency has been blocked from accessing some sensitive Social Security data. Thursday, a federal judge raised concerns of a, quote, fishing expedition and blocked the Social Security Administration from giving DOJ access to data that contains personally identifiable information. The new temporary restraining order also requires DOJ to delete any of that data that they've already received from the agency. They must also receive or remove any software they've installed in the Social Security Administration systems. DOJ can, however, access data that is redacted or anonymous, but only if the DOJ representatives are properly trained and agree to a background check.
The European Union is delaying its proposed tariffs on imports from the United States. The first phase of revenge tariffs was set to begin on April 1st after the U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports earlier this month. But Thursday, the Commission said instead of 2 phases, the tariffs will begin on April 13th. More than $28 billion worth of American goods, including motorboats, motorcycles, whiskey, beer, and produce, will be impacted. So definitely interesting to say the least with that. But we'd now like to toss to Aaliyah for local weather.
Thank you. Let's take a look at some of those current temperatures outside. It's very chilly this Friday morning. 30 degrees in Muncie, 27 in Kokomo and Indianapolis, and 29 in Lafayette. You can see everyone in our region is pretty much in those upper 20s and low 30s, so below that freezing point. I know I had to scrape some ice off my windshield this morning. Let's take a look a little closer to home. Anderson, 27. Pretty much all around us, you can see Portland, 31, so almost to that freezing point, but pretty much everyone is just under that freezing point this chilly Friday morning. The temperatures will get up to the mid-50s today. However, that wind chill is going to cause the real field to not go above 40 degrees today. So here is what we are tracking. The weekend showers, we are tracking gusty winds, which is causing that wind chill to be under 40 degrees today. And we are expecting warmer temperatures later next week.
Coming up, find out why Southwest is cutting jobs across 4 airports.
That's after your weather now.
A major airline company is slashing jobs at multiple airports. Starting in June, Southwest Airlines will begin realigning its workforce at 4 airports, BWI Marshall in Baltimore and 3 airports in California. Burbank, Los Angeles, and San Jose. According to the company memo from Wednesday, the impacted employees will be able to apply for positions at other locations. Also, a severance package will be also on the option. A Southwest spokesman said the company regularly analyzes growth at airports to determine if overstaffing is a problem at certain locations.
Google has made its biggest ever acquisition. The tech giant just announced a deal to buy cybersecurity firm Wiz for $32 billion. Privately held Wiz makes cybersecurity software for cloud computing. The New York-based company has enjoyed explosive growth since launching just 5 years ago. The Google Wiz deal still is subject to regulatory approval.
A second measles case has been confirmed in Fresno County, California. The unvaccinated adult has visited the grocery store last week. The new case is linked to a previously confirmed case. Health officials say the risk to the general public remains low, but measles symptoms can take up to 3 weeks to develop. It's contagious for 4 days before the rash develops. People who are vaccinated are considered protected against the disease.
Experts say acts of kindness make you happier than a higher salary. The World Happiness Report is released each year on the International Day of Happiness. It's a global analysis of happiness and well-being. This year's report paid special attention to acts of benevolence and people's expectations of their communities. We're talking about acts like donating money, volunteering, and doing a nice thing for a stranger. The data suggests 7% of the world's population did at least one kind thing in the last month. An expert with Gallup said acts of generosity predict happiness even more than earning a higher salary.
So to caddy off that, EK, I mean, let's just look at it. What did you do nice last month?
Last month, I think I was a really big dog with some of my friends, just really enjoying being friendly with my friends, honestly.
Hey, as long as you were the big dog, that's all that matters. Well, now I'd like to toss it to Ian for national weather.
Hey, well, thank you for that kind-hearted weather toss, Jackson. We're starting to get closer to average here across most of the nation after a big heat wave we saw last week. Right now, 30 degrees here at home in Muncie, 46 out in Kansas City, getting into those upper to low mid-30s, 34 degrees in Bismarck. Again, our average highs are going to be, well, closer to average, and our normals across most of the country. 51 will be our high in Cincy, Kansas City 64, bit warmer down in Dallas, Fort Worth, 76 degrees. Now, we're also going to be a bit drier later, and we'll talk about some potential for some warnings. Right now, though, we're not worried about too much weather. It's just a bit cloudy out towards the west, Midwest, a bit higher pressure. Down south, not a lot of clouds in the sky right now. Let's look at our watches of the morning so we can start to build a narrative about how those temperatures and drier conditions are going to cause some hazards across, particularly out west. Now, looking down in the south first, we're going to have a frost advisory down towards the south and a freeze warning up towards the north of Alabama and Georgia, heading a bit further out towards our west. This is a red flag warning. Again, we talked about that drier air. You're not going to see as crazy gusts as you're going to see out towards the east coast over the weekend. Well, maybe only up to 20 mile per hour gusts in some places, but it's going to be dry enough where that's still a big indicator for some burn warnings being issued in counties across the western United States. Looking behind me, you can see a bit stronger gusts out towards those mountains, of course. This is a high wind watch right here. Out towards further west in those Rockies, you have that winter weather advisory and a winter weather warning here where those winter storms are already getting going. Looking behind me, our fire threat. This is what we were talking about earlier. Red flags warning already issued across most of Oklahoma, Missouri, parts of Kansas. Down in Texas, though, is where our really big threat is going to be. That darker red, that's a critical fire weather warning down there. So no burning down there, that's for sure. Likely some bans going to be issued. Looking behind me at our precision cast, you see again that dryness, higher pressure down towards the south, no clouds in the sky. You see a little bit of development of some showers up towards the Great Lakes region. As we head into the rest of the week, Sunday, early morning, you're going to see this low pressure system. That's going to bring some severe storms and weather across the south and here in the Midwest. See a chance for some thunderstorms. Now, what are our main hazards going to be? They're going to be hail and they're going to be gusts for the majority of this event. Our slight risk zone is focused in Missouri and some of the south and southwestern United States. Those are our main threats, a chance for a tornado or two.
I mean, it definitely seems like there is a lot going on in the United States when it comes to fire threats, tornadoes, snow. I mean, what else could we have?
I know, it's everything we could imagine right now.
All right, coming up, find out how the new Performing Arts Center will impact Muncie. That's after your weather now.
Welcome back. The time is 8:16, and you're taking a live look at the site of the new Performing Arts Center. Within the last few weeks, you may have seen or heard some commotion on North McKinley Avenue. However, the sights and sounds of construction are bringing great things yet to come. Newslink Indiana's Peyton Mucker got a closer look.
While construction may be something that most people find to be a pain, others see it as working to a better future. In this case, it is a sign of progress and moving forward. On November 14th, 2024, Ball State University held the groundbreaking ceremony for the upcoming Performing Arts Center and Cantio Hotel. With just a few months, progress can already be seen. These brand new facilities coming are one of the essentials to the Ball State University Village Restoration Project. Not only would this space be essential for Ball State Department of Theater and Dance students, but would embrace the arts of Muncie.
To open a facility like that and thinking about all of the students and faculty and alumni and supporters of the program who have come before me and come before us that have really worked so diligently and hard to make this moment happen. It gives me great satisfaction in knowing that all of the work was not for naught. It was actually worth doing.
With a whopping 65,000 square foot space, the facility holds an expected 160 performances annually. The theater facility would hold a 450-seat main stage theater, a black box studio for classrooms and performances, and state-of-the-art facilities and technology. Aside from the theater is the Cantio Hotel with 97 guest rooms, an American restaurant, a rooftop bar, and even a cafe. The facility is still on track to finish in the fall of 2026, and students wait anticipatingly as they take their move into the theater. Student Abby Robinson is just one of those students who can't wait to get in.
But from all of the things I've been hearing and just talking to my supervisor in the lighting and sound shop, as well as just other faculty in the DTO department, I'm super excited to see all the new technology we're getting.
Before the arrival of the new space, there are some expected changes on campus as well. Starting in the academic year of 2025 to 2026, student performances will be held in a new variety of spaces. Some of the spaces used would be Emmons Auditorium, the Brown Family Amphitheater, and many, many more. From that point on, facilities such as University and Strother Theater will be fully academic buildings, as the students will be adapting to the improved spaces.
Being able to move to facilities that will more accurately reflect the quality of what we do is a real exciting moment for all of us, and I think we're all just eager and earnest to sort of move to these new spaces so that we can ultimately give our students what they deserve.
Through the rumble and the rubble is a history that is soon to be embraced. In Muncie, Peyton Mucker, Newslink, Indiana.
If you'd like to find out more or updates regarding the new Performing Arts Center, you can look on the Ball State University website.
Delta High School hosted a program Wednesday to educate its students about the importance of safe driving.
Rule of Road, Choices Matter, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and the Sheriff's Department came together to educate students on safe driving.
Our goal is to reach them in every way possible, to explain to them how valuable they are, how much they have left to contribute to society, and how these small things that they think are nothing are huge. And by helping them do these things, we keep them alive.
2 officers started this program to educate students on the risks and pitfalls of unsafe driving. Students did activities that are found at Rule the Road events across the state of Indiana. Some of the activities include a rollover crash simulator, a distracted driving simulator, and a chance to walk the line with fatal vision goggles. Educating students on safe driving is extremely important. Situations that people think will never happen to them can change their life in an instant. Chris Sandy, a speaker for the Choices Matter program, shared his story.
And I cannot imagine what they've gone through. But they did sit down and they were very truthful with me. They let me know they did not feel like they could ever forgive me for what I did, which I understand.
Chris faces the challenges of what he did every day of his life. Chris was 22 and made a split decision to get behind the wheel while intoxicated, and now lives with the fact that he took a life. He uses his story to help educate others on the dangers not only for you, but for others on the road. After being dispatched to a crash, Officer Everett shares his experience.
And it was 2 high school students, and the one girl said, I recognized you, but I didn't know if this was the right time to say something. I remembered you talking about our seatbelt. I'm glad we had them on.
This program stresses that the choices you make can change your life in an instant. In Muncie, Cameron No, Newslink, Indiana.
If you have a school interested in Choices Matter, visit choicesmatter.com to learn more.
Yeah, but now we're going to go ahead and toss it to Aaliyah with another look at local weather.
But let's toss it back to the desk.
Yeah, it's really cold in Muncie, just 30 degrees. I can't.
Rolling up my sleeves,
Yeah.
and then a snap of a finger, we're back to wearing a
Yeah,
winter coat.
for real. And it's really interesting thing about the weather-wise, it's bipolar. Indiana's always has been bipolar. I mean, like I said, 70 degrees, and now it's like 30 degrees back to a little bit more warmer weather week by the end of next week. So just really excited for that. But
Yeah,
honestly,
it's
just
definitely
can't wait for the warm
something-
weather.
I can't wait either. I really can't. Because just with the weather being how it is, obviously it's now cold. You got to go out, put your winter stuff back on and everything, put the boots back on, and you're back to winter mode. And for about a week, it felt like it was full on spring.
I mean, literally, my friends and I were picking up on North Dining here at Ball State. We're just literally on the grass, just chilling, just
Yep,
being
everyone's going
everything
on the
we
grass,
can.
going by the ponds. What's the thing they do? It looks like a cocoon. What is that?
Cocoon, I don't know for real, but you know what? We'll toss to Aaliyah for a little local weather.
All right, let's take a look at some of those current temperatures outside. 30 degrees in Muncie. Pretty much all of our area is in that high 20s to low 30s, just around that freezing point for this chilly Friday morning. We are actually at a temperature decrease from what we were experiencing yesterday. We are 14 degrees below what we were at this time yesterday. You can see most of our region is also significantly below yesterday's temperatures. Down in Bloomington is 11 degrees below what they were experiencing yesterday. Today it's going to get more around those average temperatures like Ian was saying for the national weather, 54 degrees as the high. However, like I said earlier, those gusty winds are going to cause it to be pretty chilly outside. Winds coming from the southwest at 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. These wind gusts are going to affect us all of this afternoon and into tomorrow morning. You can see today 4 p.m. 29 mile per hour wind gusts, and then picking up overnight into tomorrow morning with also some chance of showers that come with it. 33 miles per hour. This is tonight at 1:30 in the morning. However, during the day tomorrow, those wind gusts should start to decrease and leave us with a calmer evening tomorrow night after all that rain. Tonight, it's going to be above that freezing point, so not as chilly as it got yesterday, with a low of 40 degrees, winds still coming from the southwest at 15 miles per hour and gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Like I said, there is a chance of pop-up showers this evening and in the early hours of tomorrow. 8 a.m., slight chance of rain, warming up to 44 by noon and then 47 by 5 p.m. Those temperatures are a little chillier tomorrow as the winds are shifting to come from the north, so bringing in that cool northern air. The winds at 15 miles per hour, gusts up to 30, but like I said, those winds should die down during the afternoon tomorrow and shouldn't affect us tomorrow evening or Sunday. You can see these clouds start to move in, a pretty thick cloud cover for this afternoon. And then you can see this pop-up showers tonight at 10 o'clock. And then we do have a few more pop-up storms coming in the early hours tomorrow, which should just be some mist and some slight showers. However, at 6 a.m., you can see these are more heavier showers and a chance of a pop-up thunderstorm. So be aware of that, but it's not going to affect us for very long. It's just a quick little thunderstorm and then leaving clouds on Saturday, but a mostly sunny afternoon after those clouds clear out. The next 7 days, we do have some pretty active weather this week. You can see those chances of rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday, 90% chance of rain with accumulation up to ½ an inch. Those temperatures are going to decrease into the 40s, but then pick back up to the mid-50s by the middle of next week, and those lows getting back down into right around that freezing point.
Thank you, Aaliyah. I'm Josh Gabbard with sports. This week on What's New in the Shoe, Newslink Indiana's Dakota Atwood catches up with a new face in the football program.
Welcome back to What's New in the Shoe. This week, Coach TJ Greenstone, the strength and conditioning coach here for the Ball State Cardinals. Coach, how happy are you to be here at Ball State University?
Yeah, really excited to be here with Coach Yu and his staff. Just a new opportunity, a new challenge, a chance to learn about a lot of new people and ultimately hopefully help some guys reach their dreams and along the way.
You mentioned you're kind of going into the off season. What's the off season been like for you this off season?
Yeah, it's been great. I think we have a really good group of guys here that like to work. They're really, really open and receptive to what we've been asking them to do, whether it's new or old or the same. And, you know, ultimately, I think from a resource perspective here at Ball State so far, we've had a lot to work with. Our training staff does a great job. Our assistant strength coaches, Coach Cade and Coach KB, do a phenomenal job. We're getting involved in some GPS and some sports science stuff. And just really kind of teaching the guys our system of development. You know, we have a very specific way in which we want to develop guys long-term here, beyond just this 8 weeks. And we have things we want them to be able to achieve, whether it's movement, strength, power, body composition based off their position. And then it's kind of once you get into that system, that kind of leads us from there. So it's been good. Great group of guys, man. At the end of the day, our players are going to be the ones that are getting it done, not necessarily me. I'll just be hopefully sitting on the sidelines most of the time.
Yeah, your relationship with your players. This is, we're a few weeks into this series.
Yeah.
And every week we're hearing, we love what you're doing. We love it. We love the program. We love the offseason. What does that mean to you that your players are loving the offseason workouts that's going on?
Yeah, for me, I was a weight room junkie in college. Like, I love training. And that was because of the environment that my head strength coach, John Sisk and Dwight Galt created. So I want to create an environment for our guys where it's kind of hard, kind of stinks. Some of the stuff is not always the most fun, but when they leave, there's this like weird sense in their soul, like, man, you know what? That got me better. I have this feeling of gratification, and I kind of want to do it again. And as much as I love that our guys love what we're doing, that's not always the end goal. The end goal is us getting better. But when we enjoy the process, we enjoy what we're doing day in and day out, it definitely helps me a lot better, and I think it helps get us closer to our goals.
Coming up, check out our breaking down of tornadoes with this morning's Breaking Down the Science. That's after your weather now.
Welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather. We're going to go ahead and toss it to Sydney with Breaking Down the Science.
Thank you so much. This week we're going to be breaking down the science on tornadoes. Tornado season is among us when it usually starts from March and goes until June. This week we have seen some severe weather in the Midwest. So first we want to know what a tornado is. A tornado is a violently rotating column of air that can reach up to 318 miles per hour. This can be caused by severe thunderstorms that is warm, moist, unstable air. In this diagram, we can see that warm, moist, unstable air starts to wrap around the cold air that comes down from our troposphere. This is when we can start to see that rotation picking up dust and debris. The more we see it pick up dust and debris, the wider the tornado can get. Our record in the past was in the El Reno tornado in Oklahoma of 2013, when the tornado reached 2.6 miles wide and had wind speeds up to 326 miles per hour. It's important to know the difference between a watch versus a warning. A watch is when there's a risk of weather in the near future and could potentially pose a threat to life and property. A warning is a weather hazard that is imminent or likely and will pose a threat to life and property. You should take action immediately. You can think of it as a watch is having all the ingredients to baking a cake, and the warning is when the cake is actually baked and out of the oven. Tornadoes are usually described by a scale called the Enhanced Fujita scale, ranging from EF0 to EF5, with EF0 being the least severe with winds from 65 to 85 miles per hour, and the most severe being an EF5 with winds over 200 miles per hour. Though this is the wind scale, usually tornadoes are determined by the severity of the damage done. An EF0 has minor damage with shingles blown off and branches broken. With an EF1, it has moderate damage with roof damage, windows broken, mobile homes overturned or badly damaged. An EF2 has considerable damage with roofs torn off, shifted off foundation, mobile homes completely destroyed and can be tossed. An EF3 has severe damage with stories of homes destroyed, significant damage to large buildings, and trees will lose their bark. An EF4 has extreme damage with well-constructed homes being damaged, cars being thrown large distances, and top-story exterior walls are likely to collapse. An EF5 having the most damage has homes swept away and steel-enforced concrete buildings critically damaged, trees debarked, and branches snapped. It's important to pay attention and not ignore watches and warnings. You want to have a safe space in your home to go to when there's severe weather to keep yourself safe.
Thanks, Sydney. And once again, we'd like to give it to Aaliyah for final weather.
We have quite a bit of chances of precipitation coming this weekend. Tonight into tomorrow, there's chance for those pop-up showers and possibility of a thunderstorm or two. On Sunday, we are going to get heavier precipitation, 90% chance of rain with precipitation accumulation up to ½ an inch. So a pretty hefty system moving in on Sunday. Those temperatures do drop just a little bit down into the 40s, but then through the middle to later next week, the temperature should go back up into the middle 50s and pushing that 60-degree mark. However, those lows are staying below freezing, which I'm not excited to scrape my car off anymore.
Me neither, to say the least, but thanks again, Aaliyah.
Thank you.
So that's all for Cardinal Weather this Friday morning. Thanks all for joining us.
We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your Friday and a fantastic weekend.